Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and today I'd like to share with you on anger and resentment after being in a toxic relationship. You see, the most common feeling any victim of abuse will have is that anger from what they've been put through by their one so-called soulmates. And contrary to popular belief that anger is a bad thing, anger is actually a normal thing, and it's okay to feel angry. You may have also read or listen to people telling you that you should not be angry and you should let go of that anger or just stuff it down, which of course ends up eating us from the inside. The more we repress the anger, the more it will find a way to get out, but now it will get out in an unhealthy way. The truth of the matter is anger is not a bad emotion, and when channeled properly, it can actually be helpful in your healing journey. You do experience anger after being in a toxic relationship or after being abused because you've been betrayed by someone you trusted and someone you loved. And the boiling point of this anger is when you realize that all the good things they told you in the beginning of the relationship or in the love bombing phase of the relationship were just words and empty promises they used so that they can get a grip in that relationship and satisfy their needs. You sacrificed things you enjoyed in life, isolated yourself from family and friends. You might have stopped working on that side hustle. You might have turned down that job promotion, got in debt, and many other countless things you might have done so that you could spend more time together and make them happy. Then after you doing all those things, they also discard you in the worst possible way and immediately jump into another relationship as if there was nothing between the two of you. On top of that, you might think that now that they have someone else, they can leave you alone or in peace. Nope, it doesn't work that way. And that evening, even if you saw them with someone else during the day, they might even still send you a message on how much they still miss you. This is also another reason to really get angrier at someone you've seen with someone else and still wants you back. It's okay to be angry, and in this video I'm going to share with you how you can positively or you can use this anger in a productive way in your healing journey. And the anger I'm going to talk about here is the anger towards your abusive partner and not towards yourself. You can use your anger as fuel to leave that relationship. You see, leaving a narcissistic relationship is not an easy thing to do because you've been emotionally abused in all kinds of ways, and you may even feel that you are doomed to stay in that relationship. You've also been traumatized, and you may even lack the motivation to leave the relationship or to even live life. That's why you can reconnect to the anger you have deep within you. The anger you have towards your partner who has constantly betrayed you, who has constantly mistreated you, who has constantly lied to you, who has constantly cheated on you. This anger, the more you reconnect to this inner anger, it will constantly push you towards your emotional threshold to the point where you can just throw your hands and say whatever, enough is enough, I'm leaving this relationship. This anger will also prevent you from falling for the infrequent good days your partner might have with you. Because these infrequent good days will feed you with the hope that they might change, and it might give you that reason to stay in that relationship longer. To really reach the boiling point of this anger, you can also write down the abusive incidents just to psych you up on how you are really angry and furious at them. It's more like you are angry at them that you even choose to leave them and abandon them as a form of revenge, and this opens the door out of that relationship. Especially, most of the time, people lack the motivation to leave the relationship. So you just use anger as this fuel to really give you a reason why you need to leave the relationship. It's more like a revenge on why they've treated you that way. You can also use anger as your motivation to work on yourself. You see, one effect of narcissistic abuse is that you will be disinterested with life and even lack the motivation to take care of yourself even after you've left the relationship. You will also be feeling worthless to the point that you just choose to isolate yourself and neglect your own needs, as you have this deep sense that nothing is worth pursuing. But when you are really mad, you will really want to push yourself and feel that you've got to work on yourself so as to prove a point somehow. You can reconnect to that anger you have to push you on past the obstacles you will have in your healing journey. For example, like the narc might have called you names like ugly, fat, broke, or all those kinds of names. If you reconnect to the anger of the names they've called you, you will find the energy to really want to either like hit the gym, like seek professional help, as it's more like you showing them that you are not what they said. It's more like, so you've called me this, I will show you. So you've called me that I'm becoming fat, I will show you. Like, it really gives you this energy to work on yourself. Anger can be a great trigger when your own deep motivation is not there, because when you are traumatized, we might lack the motivation to work on ourselves. You might also try to think of a moment in life where anger has served you. I know there is a point in life where like someone said something about you, and then you ended up proving a point. You ended up doing that thing so that you could prove a point. So you can just remember that moment and then now see how anger can work for you. One thing about anger is that it can also lead to this optimism on your ability to change the situation. Because anger can empower you to act in such a way that you want to move from this undesirable state to a desirable one. Your anger towards your narcissistic ex will also prevent you from going back into that relationship. One thing for sure is that your narcissistic ex or your abusive ex will try to win you back so that they can supply their needs. Especially, they will try to win you back, especially when they feel that you're starting to move on or you're starting to thrive in life. They will use insidious hovering techniques which may make you lower your guard and welcome them back into your life. So when you feel that you still don't have that inner strength to keep them away, that's when you unleash the anger you have towards them as a form of protection. This anger can keep you from breaking no contact or falling for what they are telling you or enticing you with at face value. You can use your anger to either block them further, like not listening to their apologies or pleas, or just keeping them away from you. Your anger towards them is also an indicator that you are still aware of the injustice they did, and you cannot just open the door to a person who mistreated you. Also, when you hold on to this anger at the beginning of your healing journey, it prevents you from falling into the trap of forgiveness and giving them another chance, because that's actually the main trap. You might say that, I forgive and forget, and then you see what happens. You lower your guard and then you give them another chance. So like, anger is like this door that prevents your compassionate center from allowing someone who hurt you in the past back into your life, especially when you've not gotten to the point where you understand your boundaries or you know what it takes to uphold healthy boundaries. So you use this anger when you really know that I can't keep them away. So you just use the anger you have towards them. So anger is an essential part of your healing journey, and it can be great fuel which you can use to break away from toxic relationships and reclaim the joyful life you deserve. The best thing to do is not to repress this emotion, but to channel it in a way that works for you. We might still have the deep held beliefs that, we are bad people if we are angry at someone else, and this might even push us to hide the fact that this emotion is deep within us. Even if we hide this feeling of anger, it's still there. That's why, rather than letting the anger to eat you from the inside, it's much better to find a way instead that we can channel this anger to help us in our healing journey of rediscovering our authentic selves and understanding that you deserve better in life. One thing to also note is that do not allow this anger to drive you to the path of seeking revenge or wanting to level things up with your toxic ex. That's their playing field. You'll never win, and it might even lead you to a path where you might find yourself really hard to get out of. The best revenge you can give them is you thriving and having the last laugh where you build that awesome life you deserve. Lastly, it's also good to know that the anger you are just using is just fuel in the beginning of your healing journey. But it will reach a point where you will even drop the anger and just abandon yourself from what happened in the past. So you use anger in the beginning because you don't have much motivation and you might not know what to do. But it will reach a point where you really understand yourself and you know how to uphold your boundaries and you know that you deserve better in life. Then you just drop the anger. That's it for me today, guys. Hope you found this informative. So really get angry and work on yourself. Until next time, see ya.